welcome back to my channel. My name is Cindy. If you are new here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new videos. A lot of you on my online school tips video asked me about what resources I use on my iPad because I mentioned how I had an iPad Pro and how I have converted to completely digital this semester. I'm a sophomore in college and I do my school 100% online. That's a little background about me and who I am and why you should be watching this video. So my first semester online, I got the physical textbooks and I had notebooks and pens and papers, but then I realized that when I was traveling it was really hard because I would have to bring like my textbooks and my notebooks and my computer and all my computer supplies, and it just became really bulky and really heavy. But for Christmas I asked for an iPad Pro with the pencil and the keyboard. When I made that video, people requested for me to show you guys how I use my iPad for school and specifically what apps that I have. So I'm gonna show you just a little bit. Like, this is my iPad. She's literally gorgeous. My whole pride and joy right here. I definitely could survive off of just my iPad with the pencil and the keyboard. So the way this works, this is a Smart Folio keyboard, the one from Apple. So when you open it, then you just click it into there and it clicks. So it also works as like a little platform too for your iPad, but then you can also flip it up there too. So it works in both places depending on what angle you want your iPad. And this is literally just magnetic. So it just comes off like this. This iPad is super light, by the way. I have the smaller version, but I think it does the job. If I were using this as my laptop, I think I would get the bigger version of the iPad, but since I have my laptop, it's just nice to have this as well. I can have it split screen, so I'll have my textbook on one side and my notebook on the other side, and it's very nice because you can zoom in. I'll show you this app later, but it's nice because it's all in one place and you're not going from screen to screen or textbook to screen, things like that. It just makes it really easy. So now let's get right into it and show you guys all the apps that I use for school. All right, so let's get started. This is my home screen. I created this little cute background on Procreate, which I could do a whole video on that if you wanted, but we're singing with school today. First thing that would be really cool if you're using this for school, if you double tap on your screen, your notes app comes up right away. So I don't use the notes app for my notes for school, so I don't really utilize that, but that would be a really cool feature. If you're not wanting to pay for a notes app, you could definitely just make do with this app. So let's get right into my iPad. So obviously they're all the usual apps that you have on an iPad, but today we're focusing on school. So the only thing that I really use for school that came on my iPad was the Notes app. I talked about this a little bit on my online school video, but basically I just keep track of every class and every activity that I have to do on my Notes app, and the good thing about this is it syncs to my phone. So that way when I look at my phone, I can find the notes as well. So if I'm doing an assignment, I can just click it off and it syncs with my phone. Here is my school folder. I like to keep everything that I use for school all in one place. So I'll just run through them real quick. I have Google Docs, Google Drive, Outlook, which is my school email. I have Sheets, which is from Google. I have Quizlet. This says student, but this is the Canvas dashboard, little portal thing. So that's what my online school is through. I can basically do everything through this app, but I normally like to do it on my laptop. Notability, which is my note-taking app. Chegg, eText, and Kindle are all textbook apps. I don't even have a textbook on Chegg, so I'm not really sure why I have that right now. And then I have two Microsoft apps, so I have Word and PowerPoint. And what's cool about this iPad is that it has the capacity to run those apps as well as all the Adobe apps. So if I was doing like a creative video, you'd be able to see the Adobe app. Oh, I guess I have Adobe Scan on here, so I use that for school, and then Teleprompter. So I'm gonna go straight into my Notability app. There are so many different note-taking apps for iPad. I did my research, so definitely do your research, find out what's important for you, but I love Notability. Or I considered using free apps. I would be buying notebooks anyway, so I paid like, I think it was like $12, and now I have a notebook for life. So over here on the left, it organizes all of your notebooks by class, so that's how I have mine. So American Studies, Astronomy, Literature, Personal Branding, Contemporary Audience Analysis, and then I have a journals folder, and then I have things for my little brother to draw, so I have a drawing folder. But right now I am in my astronomy notebook. I created a little note up there for us to work on. So here along the top of the Notability app, we have text, so if you wanted to type your notes, you could click that and you could just literally click anywhere and start typing, and then you can move it around. But I like to write my notes because I'm a visual learner, so I don't really use that. I use more of the pen tool. With the pen tool, you can have all of these different colors, so I normally just stick with black when I'm writing my notes. That way it's easy, I don't have to switch between colors. But the highlighters is literally where I go to town. around. So I have all these cute colors of highlighters installed on here, so you basically can create any color you want. What's cool about this is they have two different kinds. So they have this one, which is more like the rounded, perfect pen, and this is the same for the pen tool as well. But then they have this, which literally just takes what you're writing. So as you can see, it's a little more like pressure oriented, whereas if I were to use the rounded one, it's uniform all about, no matter how hard I press on my pencil. And then over here, this is just eraser. You can swipe across the whole thing and it will erase the whole line. You don't have to erase like little bitty pieces. And then over here, this is the cut tool. So I have mine set on a square. So I go like that, and then you can move around what you just crop. Because I don't know about you guys, but I hate when my notes are out of order. So when my professor's talking and if he says something about a topic that was before, I will just move this down. I can write whatever I had and then put it back. That way you can reorganize your notes. A final feature that I think is really cool on Notability that a lot of the other note apps don't have is this voice recording feature. So let's say you're listening to a lecture and they're talking really fast and you just want to have the notes sync up with what they're saying. You can press this button right here and then it will record your audio. And so I'm gonna draw a little smiley face. So then you can stop it. And now when you go back through your notes, you can see when you wrote it in sync with what they were saying. And then it will record your audio. And so I'm gonna draw a little smiley face. So that's like really cool. That's one of the features that a lot of the other apps didn't have, so that's why I got this one. And then over here, you have the option to change which paper you have. I usually keep it on white and I keep it with lines because I like writing in a straight line. And then over here, it will show you all the different pages, but I have mine on continuous scroll, so it just goes from one page to the next as you write. So that is the Notability app, and like I said, everything is organized over here into the notebooks. You already know what Google Docs and Google Drive, what all of those do, but let's go into the Kindle app. This is really cool because I have all of my textbooks right here, besides my astronomy one, which I had to get on e-text because it's a different type of textbook. We'll just go into this one, and it looks like this. So you can scroll, you click, then you can search throughout the textbook. If you were doing homework and you wanted to look for a certain person or a certain vocabulary word, you type it in. So I'll just type in like media, for example, and then it will come up over here with all the places that it says media in the book. You can click on it and it will bring you to the page, and it'll even have it highlighted where it talks about it. And then again, like I told you, if you swipe up from here, then you can drag and put the note app over there. You can make this smaller. You can make the notes have a bigger space. You can make it even, and then you can scroll in and out of your notes. You can highlight things. You can copy and paste things to your notes. It's just so nice to have it all in one place instead of having a notebook, a textbook, your computer, everything open at once. One last thing about Notability that I forgot to talk to you guys about is that you can just create different diagrams. So, you know, you can label your diagrams, but what you could also do, like in literature, so I had to annotate a poem in literature. So basically what I did was I imported the poem into here. It was just a screenshot from my textbook, and then I was able to do the annotations on the side. The same thing with like PDFs or files, you can import them all into Notability. So that was Notability. We already went through the Kindle app. This e-text, my science textbook's in here, and basically instead of having it by page, what the e-text does is it separates it by section. So like here's chapter 1, section 1.1. Instead of having a million different pages, it's just a continuous scroll. But it's nice because it's not as daunting to have it in this format for me. And the same thing with the e-text. You can go over here, you can type it in. This is really useful for science, typing in vocabulary words or things like that, especially when I'm doing my homework. I can just type it in instead of looking through the whole book. I love that aspect of it. So if you are looking to get textbooks, the 3 apps that I have for textbooks are Chegg, eText, and Kindle. Most of my books I could rent off of Amazon and put it onto my Kindle app, but like my science book, it wasn't available on Amazon, so I got it on the eText app. So it really just depends on what your school prefers and what kind of textbooks they use, but definitely do your research. Most of the time, online books can be a lot cheaper, and then they're a lot lighter in weight and easier to transport around. And then you can do the cool things like search your textbooks, like I said. Another app that I use for school is obviously the Quizlet app, which you probably know what that is. Here's my student portal. So all of my assignments are in here. So I have my groups, I have all of my different assignments, my to-do list, which that's just stuff for next week, but it's just all right there, and it's nice because I can have literally everything that I need right here on my iPad. So here is the Word app. So it looks just like it would if you were on a computer. So it has all of your documents. It literally looks just like a computer, which I think is really nice because you don't have that learning curve. Like, you already know how to use it. It's there. So I have this all through my OneDrive through school. So like if I were to go into astronomy, I don't use Word very much. If I do, it's mostly on my computer, but it's nice because I can sync it so I can have them on my iPad too. It looks just like Word would. You have, you know, your bold, your italics, all the different tabs up here look just like the desktop version. I mostly use Notability for my notes. If I'm typing something, I like to use my computer, but I definitely can use my iPad as well. And then this Teleprompter app, basically, if you're recording a video, this is like kind of school, kind of not, but what this does is you can type in a script. So I was helping my friend do a little video, promo video for the Pink Girl Power Project, and basically she typed out what she was gonna say, and then she just, if you press play, it will start scrolling down the thing. So I'll show you guys that. So as you can see, it will scroll down the thing. You can turn it on, so there's a little thing over here. You can change the speed. So this is really good if you have to do like an online school presentation, because you can literally have this behind your camera and just read from it. I haven't really played around with this much, but I did use it for my friend because I was like, you can have it all right here. Like, that would be so easy. And then another app that I use for school is the Adobe Scan app, which this is free, so that's really, really nice. Okay, I'm not gonna show you guys what's on here because it's my financial aid, but basically what this does is you can scan papers or documents, and then it opens it up and it makes it look like an actual thing. So this was like typed out onto a document, but I had it in a paper format, but I had to sign something. So I just scanned it into the Adobe Scan app, and then I was able to sign it. So it's really good if you're like signing add drop forms. I've signed 1 million of those this semester. So you basically just give it access to your camera. It's looking for a document right now. Obviously you can't find one. If you still prefer to write your notes paper and pencil, you could scan your notes into here and then have them all on your iPad. Let's say like if I started taking notes in a notebook, or I did a worksheet, but I wanted it on my iPad, or I wanted it in a digital format to turn in, you can scan it and then turn it in from here. And it literally, like I showed you, like, it's such good quality. Like, that looks like it's actually typed on there. That concludes my little how I use my iPad for school. If you guys want to see another video on how I use social media apps, creative app, or streaming apps, or lifestyle apps, or games, or fitness, be sure to leave a comment down below and I will definitely consider that.